Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. This is Brother West. This is Prophet West. This is what, Tuesday, March the 3rd. 3 more days before my birthday. Then I'll be 53, blessed in the Lord, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful for seeing another year. I'm just thankful for all things, that just being alive, thankful for having kids, and thankful for being healthy. And all those things I'm just grateful for. And so another year, and another child, number 7. And so I know I'm blessed. And God bless you. And I want to greet all of you in the name of the Lord, and just let you know that I do love you. And I'm glad, and I hope that the videos that I've been releasing are blessing you, and that are meeting you in whatever place and state of mind you're in. And so that's my purpose, and my desire is to make sure that whatever I'm saying, it can be a blessing to you. And so, and I think I mentioned it before, a lot of times when God speaks to me, I don't just hear his word, but I see his word like a scroll being unfolded. Then there are other times when he allowed me to see images or people in situations, and then he allowed me to speak for those situations. So a lot of times I'm speaking what I see, not just what I hear, but what I see. And so what I see now, this is kind of what I see. This is what I kind of see. It's kind of like, almost like the story of the prodigal son. And anybody know if you know the story of the prodigal son? The prodigal son, he was this king had 2 kids, older kid and young kid. But the younger kid, he wanted to, he thought he was grown, and so he wanted to get whatever he was supposed to get. His inheritance. And so he got his inheritance, and so he decided he wanted to do some discovering and wanted to do his own thing. And ain't nothing wrong with that, but he left, and he got to a place where the money, all the fun, the Bible says that he lost everything because of wild living, because of just living in the moment, not thinking, not considering, not planning. And so many of you that way too. Many of you in a situation because you were living in the moment, but not in the moment after. You didn't plan, you didn't prepare. And so because you didn't prepare, you're suffering from those mistakes, that you've made. And so I just want to let you know that, but that's normal. The Bible says that it rains on the just as well as the unjust. In other words, there's trouble going to come through and come to everybody, no matter whether you save or not. But it's how you and who you believe in and what you trust in will determine how you're going to get through those tough times. And so in the tough times you go through, with God, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. But the main thing is keep believing and trusting in what He said, not to believe and trust in what you see, not to believe and trust in what you feel, but you have to base it on what God has already said. And so, in this instance with the prodigal son, the Bible says that when he had gotten low, he was at his lowest and at the pigsty, and at this place, at that place of being lowly. This is where really what I see is many of you at a place of being lowly, at a place of shame, at a place of, see, because at one time there was either a breakup or there was a thing that there was a misunderstanding. That's what it really was. But y'all broke apart. And while you broke apart, you're angry at one time, but over a period of time, you got a chance to be able to just think about your actions, and think about just life, and think about the person and all that. And so it's in your heart. Your heart at one time was hard and angry, but now your heart is not angry no more. Your heart is soft. It's all that. And really, you want to come back. You really want to come back, and you really want to make amends. But the thing about it, what's separating you and stopping you from doing that is a phone call. That's what's separating you, a phone call. Another thing that's separating you is just going back. A text message. And so, see what it is now, it's pride. You're ashamed, you're embarrassed, and you know how you kind of looked a certain way, and so you're embarrassed to face them. You're embarrassed to face the person. You're embarrassed to face the people because of your mistake. But you need to know that, let all that go, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the mistake that you've made. Forgive yourself for the mistake that you made, and then go and be reconciled. See, God is calling you back. He wants you to be restored. The Bible says that in the last days that God was going to send a spirit of Elijah in the earth, and the spirit of Elijah, the purpose of the spirit that He's going to send It's a drawing. It's a drawing. It's the purpose is to draw us back to each other in the homes. The sons back to the fathers, and the daughters back to the mothers. So that's what's happening. And even the fathers, the husband and the wife, finding that place that they first captured each other's eyes and they fell in love, and recapture that and do it again. And so this is what I see is that God has orchestrated a scenario and a situation where things can become back how you wanted them to be. But in order for it to happen, He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. It's going to take your effort. You got to do it. You got to swallow your pride and just go back to the person. Make that phone call. Do what you got to do, and just forgive. And some of you've been holding on to something for so long, and you've forgiven the person, but you haven't told the person. And so it all takes a text, phone call. Get things right. Get things right, because you know what you need to realize, that you got to go to sleep tonight. And then you going to sleep tonight, if there's something in your heart that you knew that you're supposed to do, and you didn't do it, and you know you're supposed to do it, and you don't do it, and if you die, you don't wake up tomorrow, that's your fault. That's your fault. Don't do that. Don't get caught. Don't get caught like that. If something is pulling on your heart to make amends, if something is pulling on your heart to get things right, and whatever you're dealing with, you need to. God said, "Did you hear my voice? Harden not your heart," because a lot of warning comes before destruction. And this is your warning. This is truly, 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 truly your warning to hear what God is saying. Rend your heart and not your garment. Don't use your hands, your mind, all that. Throw it out the window. Flush it out and go into God's face and do what God is saying and forgive. The Bible says if you have a gift and you want to offer, you want God to do something for you. You're at a place where you want God to do something for you, but you remember that you got an issue. Your brother got a problem with you, or your sister, whoever it is. The Bible says whatever you're praying for or want, the Bible said leave it right there. Leave that gift, leave that offering right there, and go get that thing right with that person, with that situation, with that individual. Then after you get that thing right, after you get that situation right, restore that relationship, restore that misunderstanding, restore that person in the faith. Then the Bible says, then you can come and go offer your gift. Then it'll be accepted. But if you offer a gift and you got stuff in your heart, God ain't gonna hear you. You're wasting the time. You might as well go and get up. Get on up. If you're trying to ask God for something, and you know you got bitterness in your heart, you know you got issues, and you know you got something that you know you need to get right, and you ain't gonna do it anyway, you ain't gonna do it, God ain't gonna hear you. The only thing He's gonna hear is the forgiveness. What God's gonna hear, did you go get that thing right? See, He's already spoken to you. You want God to speak to you. He's speaking to you before you even get down there. He say you remember. That means you need to go get that thing right. Forgive that person. Forgive that individual. Even in your mind, that tie that's tied your thoughts up because of what happened 10, 15, and 20 years ago. God is saying, forgive it. Let that thing go. Cut the cable. Cut the umbilical cord from that situation and let it go. See, God want to release these things. God want to release these things, but it's going to take you. It's going to take you to open up the door. It's going to take you to open up the door. That's all He's waiting on. Open up the door is releasing it. Forgiveness. I forgive myself. That's what you say. I forgive myself. Repeat that. I forgive myself. And then after you repeat that, I forgive them. I forgive the situation. I forgive him. I forgive her. God, forgive my heart. God, take this stony heart out and put in a heart of flesh and teach me how to love. This is your morning word of encouragement this morning. God bless you.